I'd like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners Workshop Meeting for October 11th, 2017. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
I would like, in honor of his son playing his second year for the New York Islanders, Brian McAdam to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America.
So as we said last year, while it's not the Flyers, we are still pretty proud.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Let me go and tickets, by the way.
All right, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Rogers, second by Vice President Hughes. All in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is, our agenda is approved. Citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments on agenda items only? Right? Seeing no one jump up, we're going to move on to our consent items. Is there a motion to move into the record the consent items that are listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Vice President Hughes, second by Commissioner Thomas. And for those of you who are with us and watching, that is the engineer's report for the month of September, police report for the month of September, the Calmer Volunteer Fire Company monthly report for September, HTMA monthly budget report for August, HTMA meeting minutes of August 15, Park and Rec minutes of August 2 and September 11, 2017. So I'll call a question. All in favor of moving those consent items into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, those are moved into the record. We are going to jump right into our committee reports. First is Planning and Zoning Committee, Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you. Item number 1 is 3283 Township Line Road.
We're going to make the solicitor work tonight.
Yes, yes.
All right.
I'm going to earn my keep tonight. This first item is the beginning of the 18-month maintenance period for D&V Realty LLC. This development is done. It's been signed off by our engineer, and what we do is we formally start the 18-month maintenance period by resolution. So assuming they come through with the 15% maintenance amount by your next meeting, by your voting meeting, this resolution will be appropriate for you to execute.
All right. Any questions, comments? If not, then we'll move that to next meeting's agenda. Aaron?
Sir.
Item 2 is the Fricks Church subdivision.
I'll do this one too. Again, this is a closing item at the end of construction or land development. This resolution accepts the dedication of right-of-way on both Lyon Lexington Road and Arvilla Road. So assuming we get those deeds of dedication that have been forwarded to the applicant by your voting meeting, it will be appropriate for you to vote on this resolution.
All right, same thing. If there's a motion, kind of, not a motion, but consensus, we'll move that to the next meeting's agenda.
Item number 3. Is this
Oh,
a
me
trick?
again. This is just like number 1. It is the closeout of the Royal Farms land development. It is complete according to our township engineer. They would like to begin their 18-month maintenance period, and assuming we get their maintenance amount by your voting meeting, this resolution would be appropriate for execution.
All right, that's the last one. Unless someone tells me otherwise, it looks like we have a consensus to move that to the next meeting's agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move to Public Works Committee, Vice President Hughes.
Public Works, the annual leaf pickup program is out for bid, will be awarded at the next meeting, October 25th. This year, the weeks will be October 30th, November 13th, and December 4th. We pushed those back because the feedback has been that the program was over when the leaves are still falling. So the residents should put their biodegradable bags out on Monday of those weeks to ensure leaves are picked up. And that's all I have.
I'm sorry, Vice President Hughes.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. Stellar. Very well done. Just for the moment, we'll jump ahead to Public Safety Committee. This is the Hatfield Volunteer Fire Company Vehicle Purchase Fire Reserve Fund. I think, Aaron, you have this.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mr. President. We just have one item that is budgeted to come out of the Fire Reserve Fund this calendar year. And this item is it. The Hatfield Fire has requested the funds. As everybody knows, years ago, we created a capital schedule of when the fire reserve funds would be utilized. And for 2017, the only item was for a command vehicle for Hatfield Fire. So as budgeted, Hatfield Fire has requested the $35,000 from the Fire Reserve Fund, which is generated from the fire tax. So in 2 weeks, I'll have a motion to formally authorize that contribution from the commissioners to Hatfield Fire. And tonight, just simply a heads up to the commissioners. It is in the schedule as budgeted, and in 2 weeks, we'll formalize that contribution.
All right, nothing else under Public Safety, Park and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, President Zipfel. Well, I wanted to review that on September 30th, we had another very successful Rocktoberfest. We had 148 show cars and a plethora of fun activities for the kids. Folks didn't go hungry with great choices from the Boy Scouts, Vinnie's Pizza, Nina's Waffles, and Kona Ice. Keystone Church did a lot of the activities for the kids. Haig's Christmas Trees was there, Anywhere Mini Golf. Emmanuel Church did pumpkin decorating. We had a ton of vendors, which was awesome, and we're hoping that next year we have even more. So it was a great day. The weather actually held out for us. Although it wasn't looking that great, but it did. So we want to thank everybody. Say a great shout out to Ashley, Christine, Julie, Mike Cruson, and Steve, and all the Public Works and Parks and Rec staff. So they did an awesome job getting us set up, and it was a great event.
Let me jump in. It was fantastic. Thank you very much to you as well for not only being a part of that for all the many years, but really spearheading it for the entire Park and Rec Committee. You do a fantastic job. And so a lot of people were very complimentary and liked the venue, the location.
Yep.
And it was a
Worked
really
out well.
fantastic, successful day. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So some of the other things we have going on are Mini Monster Mania. So we're partnering with local businesses. That's going to take place on Wednesday, October 18th, 4:30 to 6, and it'll be here at the Hatfield Township Administration Building. The kids can wear their favorite costume, and they can participate in various games, crafts, snacks, decorating, and trick-or-treating with some of our local businesses. You can register online at hatfieldrec.com. Pre-register is $5 a child. Walk-in price is $10 a child. We also have a bunch of bus trips coming up. We've got the Christmas Spectacular Radio City Rockettes on Tuesday, December 5th. That's in New York City. It's $119 per person, and it's orchestra seating. That includes the bus transportation and your show ticket. We also have Wicked on Broadway, Saturday, February 17th, $149, and that's rear mezzanine seating. That also includes bus transportation and show ticket. And School of Rock on Broadway. So that's Saturday, February 17th, $149 per person. Also, that's orchestra seating, includes bus transportation and show ticket. You can register for all those bus trips at hatfieldrec.com. We're continuing our Get Fit series, so we've got the Wake Up Call from October 30th through December 13th. That's Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 a.m. to 6:45 a.m. for all of those of you who like getting up really early. There will be no class 11:20. It's taking place in the community room here. Hatfield residents are $60, non-residents $75. We also have an after-work hustle in case you don't want to get up too early, and that's Mondays 6:15 to 7 p.m., Thursdays 6:45 to 7:30. That takes place 11/2 through December 14th. There will be no class on 11:20 or 11:23. Also here in the community room, residents are 60 and non-residents 75. We have yoga on Thursdays, 5:45 to 6:30. That takes place starting November 2nd through December 14th. Again, no class, 11:23 in the community room. That one, residents is only $30 and non-residents $45. We also have Zumbini, which is Fridays from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. from November 3rd through December 15th. No class, 11:24. and that's $112. You can register for all of those classes as well at hatfieldrec.com. We're partnering with XL Sports to offer indoor pickleball. The next sessions run 11/27 through 1/26/2018, and that's Mondays and Fridays 9 a.m. to 11:30, Wednesdays 1 to 3 p.m., and again, that's at XL Sports. It's $10 for a resident, $15 for a non. You can register for that at hatfieldrec.com. You can also stop by the Township building here to pick up your pickleball card. Say that 10 times fast. And then cards will be checked upon entrance at the activity. I know you guys are all thinking about Christmas already. Sure. Santa's visit is going to take place. We're working with the Police Benevolent Association to bring a little bit of North Pole to Hatfield. You can visit Santa's workshop and participate in Santa's Little Helpers. Activities will include decorating holiday cards to keep or donate, make a holiday ornament, decorate your own tree, and play great games like reindeer bowling, help an elf, and pin the nose on the snowman. Santa arrives at 11 a.m. on a fire truck, so be sure to bring your letters to Santa and wear your best smile for a photo opportunity. That takes place Saturday, December 9th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in the Administration Building. You can also get discount ski tickets throughout the late fall and the winter season. We've got discount tickets to area resorts, so you can purchase the tickets at Township Building here during normal business hours. And the complete list of ski resorts included can be found on the website hatfield.org. And payment must be made in cash or check only for those tickets. So. And coming up is our Fire and Ice Festival. That's our next Park and Rec big event. On Saturday, January 20th, 2018, we'll be at the Hatfield Aquatic Center for a fun-filled winter festival. It runs from 2 to 5 p.m. Registration forms are now available online or at the Administration Building for our Polar Plunge event. So hopefully you guys will all don your bathing suits and take a dip. You can register individually or as a team to jump into the icy waters of our Aquatic Center lap pool. Participants can dress in costumes for a chance to win our first annual Polar Plunge costume contest. However, if cold isn't your thing, register to participate in our chili or soup cook-off. Registration is now available online or at the Administration Building. Spaces are limited. Other activities will include music, ice sculptures, winter-themed games, s'mores, cider, and more. And that is all I have.
I think we should have negotiated with our top staff member that the Polar Plunge was an annual necessity for him on each
Contract.
Yep.
I
right
will
in the
attend Zumbini instead. Whatever that is, I will be there.
Yeah, I just had one comment. We had our third half marathon.
Oh, yes, thank you, Bob.
And I'd like to thank the volunteers that are out there all the time doing this. A long morning, I know it's a very long morning. And just that whole weekend, the township staff, police, Public Works, Ashley really had one heck of a weekend. I mean,
they
if you
did.
think of all the activities that went on that weekend, it was pretty incredible for a small town like Hatfield to be able to put on such a big show. And Mr. Amy here ran like a 20-year-old. I ran like a 70-year-old.
A one-legged 20-year-old.
Anyway, thank you guys for your help and support.
Yeah, and we actually had 250 runners registered for that Octo half run, so it was a very busy weekend, like Bob said. So our staff was, they were exhausted on Monday.
for good reason. And Commissioner Rogers was the fastest commissioner in the race.
Ever.
Both first and last.
He did. And everything in between. Tina and Bob, thank you again so much for all of you do, especially on the races. It's great. Thank you. Commissioner Thomas, anything else?
That is all I have, thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to the Finance Committee. Commissioner Andrus.
I was sitting here thinking as Commissioner Thomas was reading all those good things in Hatfield Township, the only way I can spin this finance report as being exciting is I don't charge it for anything. Come here for free. It's all about the budget. So Next Wednesday is the first goals and objective budget for Hatfield Township at 6:30 in this room. So the commissioners and staff will be reviewing that. Talk about how the spending and projects went this year and what we're going to project for next year. All are welcomed, and the plan is to review the final budget proposal November 8th and adopt in December, if everything goes well.
That's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yes.
Let's hope it doesn't go that long.
Do you have any pre-budget slides you'd like to show?
I have slides for whatever you need, Commissioner.
All right, we're going to move on to our township staff report, the township manager's report. Aaron?
Thank you, Mr. President. Are you telling me Ken's not 20, by the way? 'Cause I'm a little confused by that. but-
21.
That's right, that's right.
I have an update on a project that I know is very important to a lot of people in this room, especially some of you in the back. The gentleman in the back taught me that this was called the Piedmont Expressway 60 years ago, and here we are 60 years later still working on it, but finally showing some progress. And PennDOT is proud to have an open house next week. It's going to be at Souderton Area High School cafeteria. Hatfield, we were going to host the meeting, but when the letters went out, there's a lot of people that are in the vicinity of this connector road. So if everyone would come out, we didn't have the capacity. So PennDOT decided to have it in Souderton Area High School cafeteria next Thursday, October 19th, 6:30 to 8:30. Open house to see the plans of what the connector road potentially could look like, hopefully under construction in the next few years. But we will find out more next Thursday. I'll report back to the commissioners and to the public at our next meeting, but this is open to all of the public to attend if you would like to go and see the plans. From my understanding, it's more of an open house rather than a presentation. There'll be boards and plans up throughout, so you can come through at any point in those 2 hours just to check and take a look. I know that Representative Godshaw has been advocating for this connector for many years, and I actually talked to him yesterday about this, and he's going to do his best to put the pressure on PennDOT to make this completion and to take a lot of those trucks off the local roads here in Hatfield. So I know it's a very important project to a lot of people in this area, and it's good to see that at least we're having a meeting. So there's something happening, which is more than we could say for the last 40 years, and I'm exaggerating. But it's good to see something, and we'll certainly share what we find out next week. My next item, commissioners, that I have, some good news. We talked a lot about energy price over these last few years, and we went through the LED conversion process with our streetlights, which is still ongoing with the construction, which should be completed in the next few weeks. But also this time of the year, we have been working with a broker to purchase the generation of electricity. And thankfully, the market has been very favorable at this time. So 3 years ago in 2014, we locked in a rate of 7.87 cents per kilowatt hour to purchase from a supplier all the electricity that Hatfield Township uses, which equates to roughly $80,000 a year. And you look even prior to that, the contract that was expiring at that time, 9.48 cents. So you can see how the market has decreased significantly in the last 5 years, but we've been able to lock in our new rate for the next 3 years at 5.68 cents kilowatt per hour, which will save the taxpayers of Hatfield over $24,000 over the next 3 years to essentially turn on some light bulbs and switches and street lights and all the electricity components that the township uses, which are many given the amount of facilities that we have. Now, this saving is in addition to, I just want to point out, to the $250,000 worth of savings that we're going to see over the next 20 years for the conversion of the streetlights to LED. So this will be on top of that. So costs going down over the next several years is certainly a trend that we would love to see continue. And thankfully, the market was in our favor when we locked in. One other thing to point out that I just want to make sure the commissioners and the public is aware. We've been working with a new broker that we met through the LED conversion process, and fortunately, we're one of a few municipalities, but we're going to be also purchasing energy along with Montgomery County and several large school districts in the area. So we're going to be on the same schedule as those entities. So in 3 years, we'll be purchasing at a very bulk rate, and hopefully the rates at that point will be favorable as well. But it's certainly putting us at a significant advantage compared to what we've had in the past. So nice savings over the next 3 years with limited, it's always nice, limited amount of work to see that amount of savings. So that's certainly good news for the taxpayers in Hatfield Township. Now, not so good news is the spotted lanternfly, certainly a pivot here on topics. We cover all things here at the township meetings, but this is something that's going on that I was alerted to earlier in the year, but most recently, a month ago, from the Department of Agriculture, now that it's affecting Hatfield Township. This is what the lanternfly looks like, and I'm by no means a scientist, so I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'm going to explain sort of what it means. What's interesting that I found about this spotted lanternfly is that it's found throughout China, India, and Vietnam, and then just this section of the United States. Nowhere else in the United States except for the 4-county region, a little bit beyond Hatfield, but really just this region in the entire North America, which is. So this is where right now there's been sightings of this spotted lanternfly. You'll see obviously a lot of the counties in this area, and we're one of now many municipalities that have this insect. Now, one of the issues with the insect is that this bug likes the sweet fruits, so it's going after the vineyards and the grapes, the apples, the stone fruits, which obviously big industry in Pennsylvania, so could become an issue over the years. So what do you do if you see this fly in your house? Bug,
Bad
fly.
bug.
Smack it.
Attempt to capture it.
Don't call me, that's for sure.
Call the chief.
You call the chief of police?
Call the chief of
Sure,
police. Yeah, absolutely.
He's been trained.
He's armed.
He's armed. But you want to talk to the folks in the Department of Agriculture. They certainly are the experts on this spotted. I sat through a very long presentation about this fly a few months ago. So you want to go to the website, agricultural.pa.gov, or the 1-800 number listed there, or badbug@pa.gov. I did not make that up, but please report that to them if you do see it, and they will walk you through. The website alone has a significant amount of resources if you're interested, and I'm sure our Shade Tree and our EAC, which we have a representative here tonight from, we'll be talking about this issue much more, and if there's anything the commissioners can do, I'm sure we will get a request from one of our volunteer boards. So as of now, this is just simply sharing information that I received from the Department of Agriculture.
They're moth-sized. They're big like. All right, I'm gonna still laugh and chuckle about bad bug at pa.gov for a little bit, but you know what? It's catchy enough that we're all gonna remember it. So I guess that was the intent. There was one other event that just took place a couple of days ago that the staff should be recognized for, and that was I believe, if I recall correctly, our 18th annual golf outing, the proceeds of which go to Park and Rec needs in the township. And over those 18 years, through that golf outing, we have raised over $100,000 to go towards Park and Rec initiatives. And so this year, while maybe a little rainy and overcast, the staff did a fantastic job as usual, and we had 100+ folks register, and I think most, if not almost all of them, showed up, golfed in the rain for a couple of holes, and then overcast from there on out, and then had a great time, great dinner with some raffles and generally a good time. So thanks again to everyone who contributes to that, especially Aaron, you and your entire staff. We really appreciate it. And Chief, thank you for your putting expertise. Everyone looks forward to that on an annual basis. All right, solicitors report.
Nothing to report.
All right, nothing to report, so we have citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments? Hey, Joe. Joanne, would you mind maybe mention that there over at the podium so that it'll kind of be on the record, because it's always good to get kind words from residents and when they, especially when they point out what they enjoyed.
Hi, Joanne Gressang, Broad Street in Calmer. I would just like to thank Commissioner Thomas for a wonderful Monday night events in the park this summer. They were very well attended, and it was just good shows and everything. So that's all.
Great, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joanne, on behalf of the Park and Rec Board and the staff. We're glad you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you next year. I have one last thing,
Sure.
President Zipfel. I wanted to mention that we have our last public meeting for the Clemens Park stuff for, it's on October 19th, which unfortunately it conflicts with the connector meeting, but it's here at the Township Building at 7 p.m.
Okay, great. All right, before we adjourn, I need to announce that we are going to meet in executive session to discuss personnel. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Rogers, second by Commissioner Andrus. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thanks for coming out, everyone.